Well, so I do apologise for the absolute state of the screen here, as albeit I do have ad blockers installed on this laptop, it doesn't seem to be doing it very much justice. Regardless, this is the Inverness Courier in relation to the up and coming plans to house 300 plus men in the Cameron Barracks in Inverness. So the headline I've got here says outrage on Facebook over Cameron Barracks asylum seeker plan as a change.org petition has been launched, right? Then goes on to say that a UK government decision to move 300 single male asylum seekers to an army barracks in Inverness has sparked social media outrage. Just on a brief side note, I find it kind of strange how we've sort of moved past the days of old. Prior, it used to be the case that we were told consistently it was women and children, it was mainly women and children. And, we just seem to be in a society now or in the day of age where we're told now it's just men. At least they're honest, I guess. A petition against the move has also been launched, which I'll come on to, but regardless, so we need to scroll past all the ads and the absolute state of my screen. I get it. Hundreds, this is Inverness Courier's words, no mine. Hundreds of angry comments, some expressing fear, alarm, and concern, have poured out onto our Facebook page in response to our stories detailing the plan and the response of elected politicians. There were also numerous unsavoury and prejudicial comments, and I'm sure the Inverness Courier have gone out of their way to report these unsavoury and prejudicial comments to Police Scotland. With more measured comments either for and against tending to be drowned out. Cameron Barracks, which is a mile from the city centre, will be used under Labour's plan, which aims to cut the reliance on using hotels to house migrants. By 3 p.m. today, over 700 people had signed a change.org petition calling for people to stand with us in protecting Inverness and the Highlands from policies that threaten the well-being of our communities. It is impossible to verify with any great accuracy how many social media or petition respondents are from the local area. Okay. Among the comments, here we go. All right. Alison McRae said, seriously, it's bad enough that we are going to lose Fort George in 2032. I'll be honest, don't know what the fuck that's about. And now they want to house asylum seekers at Cameron Barracks. The country has completely lost the plot. Andrew Williams said, well done, Labour. That's right to pick one of the UK's smallest cities that already struggles with amenities and essential services for its own citizens. You don't care about the people of Scotland. Coming down ever so slightly, goes on to say from Katrina Fife, disgraceful. Inverness is a small Highland city and could not cater for all these men. The hospital is one example. Please rethink. Whatever, added, what about our own homeless? Where are they going to spend winter? Good question. Donald McClellan said, it's diabolical, madness of the highest order. And Paula Taylor said, surely the community can come together and object to this. Then goes on to say, this is the Inverness Courier again, their own narration. The toxic nature of the debate no doubt dissuaded many from giving alternative views, but Francis Tate said, well, this one seems to have brought out the misinformed. I love that. I really love it when these people say this stuff, right? I will, like, devil's advocate here, right? So obviously there will be people from further afield that ain't from Inverness who will have said their 2 cents on the Inverness Courier's Facebook and or would have signed the petition. But that also applies to the people who are in favour of this. There will be people who are either fake, or will be people who are not from Inverness. Okay, so there is that to sort of take into consideration when you read stuff like this. But still, it's like you really want to bite the bait sometimes. Misinformed, because you hear it all the time, don't you? Regardless, badly informed. because she knows the scoop, or he, whatever. And they help our own contingent who have never put their hands in their pockets or have helped anyone in their lives. But it's not up to the people in the vicinity to help people, right? It's up to the council, in theory, allegedly, to be helping our own. The expression the expression charity begins at home, right? That doesn't mean that it's the everyday man and woman who goes to their work from A to B every single day, right? It's not up to us. It's not up to them. It's not up to her. It's not up to him to empty their pockets out to help the disadvantaged. It is entirely up to the council when it comes to things such as giving these people houses, etc. It's not up to the everyday citizen, right? So when people come out with the phrases which are being lambasted or poo-pooed as sort of rhetorical or misinformed or cliche, kind of charity begins at home, right? These people are saying that because things are being put in place to prioritize people who should theoretically be playing second fiddle to the people who are already in problems or have problems of their own within our country, especially in Inverness. Not limited to, but in this context, Inverness. Okay? For example, but not limited to, you have this. This is just brief, okay? Very, very brief before I go back onto the article. Right? Oh, shit. The total number of applicants on the Highland Housing Registry was 8,767, which was an increase of 1.73 from the previous year. Right? I remember an Inverness Courier article from maybe 2 years ago. It was either last year or 2 years ago, hence why this statistic here or percentage point makes sense to me. It was roughly 9,000 people were on housing waiting lists in Inverness. And you just want to shove in or rake more people. Right? You walk through Inverness city centre at night, right? Albeit it's very fucking quiet unless it's a Friday or a Saturday night, irrespective, it does not matter. You will see quite a few people who are homeless, who are under a blanket with their begging pot out, and it's pretty rank. And then, of course, there is the sort of places where some homeless people can go, and the amount of money they get charged is exponential. You know? But hey, it's fine. It's fine. You're missing farms. You're racist. Whatever. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Connor O'Hara added, angry, dismissive, whataboutery responses are wholly playing into the hands of those who seek to divide us. Keep everyone poor and inflation high, stretch vocational jobs until at breaking point, keep austerity rolling along, create a culture of selfishness and consumerism. Whatever you do, do not point out that the UK is modelling itself on the USA, which is becoming a failed state. Oh, okay. What a hot take from you, bro. What a fucking hot take. Anyway, so that brings us to this. This is the petition against Inverness Barracks becoming migrant centre gets over 1,500 signatures in just hours. Right? It's a bit more than that now. Okay. Stop asylum seeker housing at Cameron Barracks. It's now at 6. I'm going to refresh the page just in case there's any more. 6,516 verified or 17 verified signatures. Right. This is just now. Cameron Barracks, located in a quiet residential area of Inverness, is more than just a location. It is a home to families who value its safety and stability. This issue is deeply personal to me. as it directly affects my family and the wider Highland community. We firmly oppose the government's plan to house asylum seekers in Cameron Barracks or anywhere in the Highlands. This decision has been made without consulting local residents and ignores the risks and impracticalities of placing hundreds of people in facilities not designed for residential use. Not only that, it's next to a housing estate. And on top of that as well, it's the fact that, like, the government and the council and whatnot are all starting to come out and say they're sort of contradicting themselves, or they're tripping themselves up, because from some of the stuff I've posted in the last few days, video-wise, which, it's not been the greatest amount of content, air quote unquote, but some of the stuff that people are saying, they've had knowledge of this allegedly coming into the fray since like September time, but they never said fuck all. They never said anything, right? But they're now, especially if you're like pro-independence parties, SNP, etc., they're now using this as a means to beat Westminster over the head. They're saying, they should have been in contact with the Highland Council. This just goes to show, what happened to working in tandem and working together, etc. But yet they simultaneously say that they have had knowledge of this since September time, right? We're nearly in November, right? That's one issue, right? But regardless of that fact, whether they found out about it in the last few days or whether they've had prior knowledge to it, the people didn't know, did they? Right? They didn't know. Just saying. And then you get this. Then you get stuff like this. Right? So we will come to this. Highland MP Angus MacDonald, who is the Lib Dem MP for up here. I don't really follow Westminster politics, so to be honest, I didn't know who the hell he was. But I mean, some of the clips that I've posted in the last few days, he is the guy. I'm pretty sure he's been somewhat vocal on the subject. He's been slammed, according to Inverness Courier, by Inverness councillor, Michael Gregson, who's a Labour councillor, for pandering to racism. Oh, here we are. It's fucking racism now. And